Aggie Chambre, LBC's political correspondent, has shimmied into the studio to tell me about what Keir Starmer has been up to.
I have indeed, James. So he is currently, as we speak, making this press conference with the Albanian leader. But the real news from today is that he has said that the UK will begin talks on sending failed asylum seekers to return hubs in third countries while they await deportation. And we can just hear a little clip from him talking at the press conference.
I'm also pleased to announce a joint statement of intent on defence industry cooperation. We will work together on the manufacture and sale of military vehicles, so another important step forward for our two countries, strengthening our national security, driving innovation and boosting economic growth for both of our nations.
So Keir Starmer says he's the first UK Prime Minister to come to Albania for a bilateral meeting. This is, of course, ahead of the meeting of the European political community in Albania tomorrow. But I think those return hubs could be really crucial. Now, we don't know exactly what potential partners there could be. There's been reporting previously, it could be Albania, could be Serbia, Bosnia, North Macedonia. But actually, while I've been in here, James, the Prime Minister of Albania has said no return hub for Britain in Albania. So he says that's a no from him. He says it's a model that takes time to be tested, but not one that he wants replicated in Albania. So interesting, that's been the big announcement from Sir Keir Starmer today, but it's a no from the Albanian Prime Minister.
What would it mean? So you'd be picked up here and taken there to have your case considered, or just it would be your case is already being considered because you've crossed the channel, which makes you technically irregular or illegal, and therefore you're going to go somewhere else as a stop-off point before you'll return to your country of origin or the first place that you applied for. Well, you can't do that because we left the Dublin Convention, so is that it?
So it's failed asylum seekers.
Oh,
so
okay, sorry.
It's not if you potentially could be processed as an asylum seeker. It's
okay.
if you are failed as an asylum seeker. And part of the argument is that sometimes a failed asylum seeker, they say, will lose their paperwork and make it sort of frustrate the process, and they want to prevent that happening, and kind of this is part of their moves to deter people from doing that and deal with illegal migration.
So no word at all on opening up safe routes. It's entirely absent from all the conversation, and it increasingly doesn't look like an accident, does it?
It doesn't, no. It's potentially something if we don't hear about it, it will be asked about in the next few days because, as I say, there's this EPC conference tomorrow, and there's also this big European conference on Monday too. So I'm sure it'll be asked about, but something they don't seem keen to talk about.
No, and I don't know whether it will be described as such, but it's not the same as the Rwanda scheme for a couple of the reasons that you've just highlighted. A, these are applications that have already failed, and B, it's not a country with a government that has been recently involved in or accused of genocide.
Exactly, and also that was asylum seekers before they were failed being sent to a Rwanda scheme, and also if they were successful in their asylum claim, they'd stay in Rwanda. Exactly.
Although no one seemed to understand that at the time, including cabinet-level Conservative politicians who toured the studios to extol the virtues of the scheme. Aggie Chambre, thank you.